Week 12 of the fantasy football season, and here's a few tight ends I have as sleepers this week. The first guy, Tanner Hudson of the Cincinnati Bengals. So we know Joe Burrow's out for the season, Jake Browning in there. And for a young quarterback, a tight end's always a security blanket and a target that they rely on. So the last few weeks, Hudson's actually been a serviceable tight end for fantasy owners. Week 9 versus Buffalo, 4 catches, 45 yards. Week 10 versus Houston, 6 catches, 33 yards. And Week 11 at Baltimore, 4 catches, 49 yards, with a majority of that game obviously with Browning once Joe Burrow went down. So this week here, I know it's a tougher matchup versus the Steelers. They give up the 7th least amount of fantasy points to tight ends on the season. But Hudson, he's been involved in the offense over the last few weeks. He's going out there making plays. I know they got Drew Sample and Irv Smith Jr. as well, but Hudson's getting the most snaps out of all these guys. And now with Browning in at quarterback, I think, like I said, for a younger quarterback, they target that tight end. So available 96% of fantasy leagues. If you need a sleeper option, next tight end is Donald Parham of the Los Angeles Chargers. So Parham, he showed some flashes this season with a multiple touchdown game early in the and then a few games scattered on and off where he had good performances. So right now available 95% of fantasy leagues. The last couple weeks, he's getting more work with Gerald Everett in and out of the lineup. Week 10 versus Detroit, only 2 catches, 18 yards. But last week at Green Bay, 4 catches, 57 yards. So this week here, not a great matchup versus Baltimore, but we know this Charger offense, they just throw the football a whole lot. And now, obviously, with a lot of injuries, with Palmer going down the last few weeks and Mike Williams early in the season, Parham, he might start getting more targets and things going his way with pretty much his passing options and reliable players for Herbert to throw through have been Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler out of the backfield. So Parham, he's a big target, 6'7", 6'8", especially in the red zone, where, like I said, this season, even in minimum amount of catches and stuff, he does have 4 touchdowns in 19 grabs. So Parham, if you need a sleeper, he's available in 95% of fantasy leagues. And the third and final tight end I have as a sleeper options, Jack Stoll with the Philadelphia Eagles. So Stoll available in 99% of fantasy leagues. Dallas Goedert probably going to be out 1 or 2 more games. And Stoll, I know he didn't do much Week 11 in Kansas City, only 1 catch, 3 yards, but obviously that was a rainy game. And Philly, they just didn't look great, even though they still pulled out the victory. So this week, a potential shootout versus the Buffalo Bills. And we know this Bill defense is all banged up with a lot of injuries this season. Dequan Jones, Matt Milano out for the season, Tre'Davious White. And I think Jake Stoll could be underrated in this game, where obviously defense is rolling coverage to Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown. So right now, if you need a tight end in the deepest of formats or a desperation play, I think Stoll could be a sleeper option. So that's a few tight ends I have as sleepers here for Week 12.